As more Conjuring movies are added to the franchise, keeping track of things can get confusing, especially since they jump around chronologically. Luckily, we figured out when everything takes place. From freaky nuns to haunted houses, here's the entire Conjuring universe story explained. Chronologically speaking, the Conjuring universe all starts with The Nun. The film takes place in 1952 in the Abbey of St. Carta in Romania, where Father Burke and a novitiate, Sister Irene, are investigating the death of one of the abbey's nuns. They discover the nuns have been spending most of their time praying in shifts to keep a nun-shaped evil entity from hitchhiking its way out into the real world on a human host. As it turns out, the abbey was originally built by a duke during the Middle Ages who was more interested in demon worship than Catholicism. He managed to raise the demon Valak, but was stopped by a group of Christian knights who were able to seal Valak for a while. With the help of a local man named Frenchie, Father Burke and Sister Irene seemed to finally banish Valak back to hell. But as it happens, Valak manages to hitch a supernatural ride out of town on Frenchie's back. The story of Annabelle starts in 1943 with Annabelle creation, when a doll maker named Samuel Mullins and his wife Esther lose their 7-year-old daughter Annabelle in a freak car accident. About 12 years later, the Mullins open their doors to a group of orphaned girls and the nun tasked with their care. When one of the orphans stumbles upon a porcelain doll in a locked bedroom, she unwittingly releases a demon that wreaks havoc on the house and its inhabitants. It's soon revealed that the Mullins have been tricked into letting a demon take possession of one of Samuel's dolls, and it's now decided to try and find a human host. By the end of the ordeal, the demon has succeeded in possessing the unlucky orphan, who escapes and, now going by the name Annabelle, winds up being adopted by a nice family in Santa Monica. There, she grows up, runs away, joins a cult, and then returns to murder her adoptive parents. As it turns out, the poor adopted parents of Annabelle live next door to John and Mia Form, the main protagonists of 2014's Annabelle. John has given his wife, Mia, an antique porcelain doll as a gift for their unborn child. But after Annabelle and her boyfriend kill her parents, they move on to the Form residence, where Annabelle immediately takes a liking to Mia's antique doll. When the human Annabelle dies, the demon hops into the doll. Terror sets in as the newly demonic doll decides to torment the Form family. Willing to trade her own soul to save her newborn daughter, Mia tries to jump out of her window with the doll. Luckily, John and Mia's friend Evelyn arrive in time to stop her, and Evelyn sacrifices herself to save the family. In the end, an unsuspecting woman buys the doll from a toy shop as a gift for her daughter, a nurse. In The Conjuring, we revisit that nurse who is now at the mercy of the demon spirit trapped inside the toy. So the Warrens take the doll off the nurse's hands and move on to their next case. In 1971, the Warrens are teaching a class on demonology at Massachusetts Western University. During the lecture, they play footage of a possessed man named Maurice, who Ed explains killed himself after attempting to shoot his wife. Maurice is Frenchie, the nice guy who spent some time in Romania in the 50s and came home with a demon nun as a souvenir. One of the attendees at the Warrens' demonology lecture is Carolyn Perron, whose family has recently moved into a Rhode Island farmhouse. Unfortunately, they're now being tormented by a malevolent, clap-happy spirit. After some digging, the Warrens discover the house was built on land that once belonged to a witch named Bathsheba. Unfortunately, that discovery comes a little late. Bathsheba has already set her sights on Carolyn, and the now-possessed mother brings her kids back to the house to kill them. The Warrens show up just in time, and the curse of Bathsheba is lifted, finally leaving the Perrons with a livable farmhouse. When Ed and Lorraine Warren are needed on an overnight investigation, they hire a girl named Mary Ellen to stay over and keep an eye on their daughter, Judy. Unfortunately, Mary Ellen's friend Daniela drops by the house uninvited. She finds a way into the Warrens' artifact room, disturbs Annabelle, and unleashes every ghost and demon the Warrens have trapped in their basement. The girls spend the night essentially playing hide-and-seek with a bunch of possessed objects before Annabelle is returned to her case once and for all. In 1973, Anna Tate Garcia is a social worker who gets mixed up with La Llorona when she takes the sons of a woman named Patrice Alvarez to the police, unwittingly allowing the titular spirit access to kill them. As a result, Anna's own children are targeted by the spirit, so Anna seeks help from Father Perez, the priest from Annabelle who obviously has some experience with evil beings. He tells her about a former priest named Rafael Olvera who can banish the entity. One banished spirit later, and Anna and her children are safe, although she keeps the necklace that once belonged to the wailing woman. In a deleted scene, it's revealed that she hands the necklace over to Rafael.
What do you want to do with this?
I know of a couple on the East Coast who look after things like this.
Valak makes his return in 1976 during The Conjuring 2, the film that sees Ed and Lorraine Warren seemingly defeat the spirit for good. Beginning in 1976, the Warrens are investigating the infamous Amityville murders, and Lorraine has a vision where she comes face to face with Valak and a vision of her husband's death. Lorraine continues to see visions of the demon nun, even as the pair travel to Enfield, England, where the Hodgson family has been experiencing paranormal activity. When it appears as though the entire haunting is a hoax put on by the family to gain fame, the Warrens pack up their things to leave. But Lorraine soon realizes that Valak has been behind the entire thing, and they return to the house in a last-ditch effort to save the family. Ed almost falls to his death in the process, leaving Lorraine to go head-to-head with Valak herself. She succeeds in banishing the demon by using its name and pulls Ed to safety.
You are Valak! The defiler! The profane! The Marquis of Snakes!
The day is saved, and everything seems to be going smoothly, at least until the next film in the franchise gets released. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.